Animals of Svalbard. The Arctic is one of the coldest regions on the planet. It's covered with tundra, which is the world's northernmost biome. And what is a biome? It's a collection of plants and animals typical of a given area and climatic zone. The indisputable king of the Arctic is the polar bear, a top predator whose thick, double-layered coat protects it against the biting cold. Thanks to its superb sense of smell, the bear can track down a seal from a distance of several dozen kilometers. Wide paws enable the bear to walk on snow without sinking in, and the tracks it leaves are truly impressive. The tundra is also home to the Svalbard reindeer and the Arctic fox. Both species have distinct summer and winter coats. In winter, the fur on the reindeer's muzzle becomes longer, reaching down to its lips and serving a protective function when the animal grazes in the snow. The winter coat of a reindeer, which is made up of hollow hairs, is thicker, longer, and lighter in color than it is in summer. A layer of fur lining the bottom of the animal's feet prevents the reindeer from slipping on the ice. The reindeer has the richest and most nutritious milk of all land mammals. It contains the whopping 22% of fat. The reindeer is also the only deer species in which both males and females grow antlers, with females shedding theirs later in the season. This means that the reindeer pulling Santa's sleigh must in fact be females, as males no longer have antlers at this time of year. Reindeer antlers, or even bones, can sometimes be spotted in Svalbard's tundra. The Arctic fox also changes its coat with the seasons. In winter, its fur is white and thick to protect the animal against the cold, while in summer it's thinner and darker, usually brownish in color. In summer, Arctic foxes stock up for the winter by hiding extra food in holes under rocks, or by burying it in the permafrost. This helps the fox survive when food becomes scarce. The waters surrounding the archipelago of Svalbard are home to whales, such as the humpback whale or beluga whale, and many species of seal, including the ringed seal, bearded seal, and harp seal. None of them, though, is easy to take a picture of. Another animal typical of the Arctic is the walrus, a species in which both males and females boast tusks, roughly half a meter in length. Walruses feed mainly on marine invertebrates and may live for even 50 years. The animals of the Arctic have evolved a range of adaptations which make it possible for them to survive the extreme cold in winter or food and water shortages in summer. One such adaptation is a thick layer of fat which insulates the animal's internal organs against the cold. The fat is known as blubber, and it is a shared feature of seals, walruses, and whales. In Spitsbergen, in the vicinity of the Polish polar station Honsund, you can also meet numerous bird species. Among them is the black and white little auk, which lives in colonies on mountain slopes. The colony located near the station is home to about 50,000 pairs. Out on the tundra, you may also spot barnacle geese, which in the summer season lay a single clutch of a few eggs. They do so in nests lined with down, moss and lichens and surrounded with rocks, which the geese usually build on slightly elevated ground. The vicinity of the station is also visited by the Glocker's gull, a large predatory bird, which may weigh up to 3 kilograms. Besides, nesting in the area are Arctic skuas, which viciously attack and usually successfully drive away all intruders venturing too close to their chicks. Just like the Arctic land mammals, whose bodies are covered with thick fur, the birds of the Arctic are also feathered more densely than other birds. The rock ptarmigan, for example, has feathers all over its body, including eyelids, beak, and feet. Another species superbly adapted to the cold is the rock ptarmigan, found among others in Spitsbergen. What's special about the bird is that its feet and claws are protected by down. And if we have a look at the claws themselves, we can see that they too are quite different from the claws of the common chicken. They're hollow inside and more like little shovels for digging in the snow.
i wyglądają jak łopatki, które ułatwiają przegrzebywanie śniegu.
What's typical of the rock ptarmigan is that it can shed feathers when in danger.
Potrafi ona zrzucać pióra.
So an Arctic fox which attacks a ptarmigan and manages to catch it may suddenly be left with a mouthful of feathers, while the bird escapes unscathed.
Sobie odlatuje spokojnie, bez uszczerbku.
The material was prepared for the project EduArctic 2, from polar research to scientific passion, innovative nature education in Poland and Norway, which receives a grant of €240,000 received from Iceland, Liechtenstein and Norway under EEA funds.